Hey everybody, what is going on? So today we're going to discuss something probably pretty controversial. Okay, I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. This is probably going to be a very controversial subject, but you know what? I think it's an important conversation to have. I think that I encourage everybody civilly and with respect to debate and discuss this in the comments below. But as most of you probably already know, Disneyland has canceled their planned reopening of the parks, which was July 17th. Okay. And there's been a lot of discussion and debate, you know, is that too soon? Was July 17th too soon? Are we ready as a society basically to reopen Disneyland and in a larger context, the economy in general? And in my opinion, okay, and I've always been honest with you guys, and even if it's an unpopular opinion, I've always told you how I really feel, and I feel like this is going to be a very unpopular opinion, but in my opinion, yeah, we're ready to reopen Disneyland and we're ready to reopen the economy, okay? There's a lot of justification. People kind of say like, well, we're witnessing a huge spike in coronavirus cases. We can't reopen now. Here's the problem with that mindset. Okay, so let's go ahead and say, okay, right now we have a huge spike, which we are getting an increased number of cases. Okay, fine. Okay, so let's say we do another shutdown. Let's say we lock down again because we got the huge case. Let's say we lock down the economy again until September, right? So in September, what's going to happen? Well, no one's working, no one's leaving the house, we're all hunkered down. So what's going to happen in September? Well, yeah, the cases are going to be lower, of course. If no one's interacting with each other, of course the cases are going to be lower, right? So that would be justification then to reopen the economy, right? I mean, the cases are lower, let's reopen. Cool. So in September, they reopen the economy. And then what do you think is going to happen with the cases when they reopen the economy? Yeah, they're going to go back up again, right? So this is an endless cycle. You're never going to get a situation where you're going to shut it down and then reopen, and upon the reopen, have a flat line. It's always going to jump and spike when you reopen the economy. The solution is not to just stay locked down forever, okay? That's not the solution, okay? It's not feasible. It's just not feasible. And, viruses are not a new thing. And we've had viruses before. We have the flu every single year. Okay, we have, HIV, AIDS. And with viruses, we've learned to kind of adapt to those viruses. Like with HIV and AIDS, they didn't outlaw sex, right? We adapted to it. We started using condoms. We started practicing safe sex to adapt to this new normal. Even with the flu, we have a vaccine for the flu. We have a flu shot every single year. Yet people still get the flu every single year. People still die from the flu every single year. But society, the economy still goes on. We adapt and we still go on, right? That's what I think we should do with this current virus, with the COVID-19. I think we need to adapt. We know enough about the virus that we can adapt. People with autoimmune problems, underlying health conditions, people that are elderly or older, by all means, don't leave your house. Do not leave, stay quarantined. If you're at risk, stay quarantined, okay? But I think that outside of that, the economy and Disneyland should reopen. Because like I said earlier, this is a cycle that's never going to stop, you guys. Even with a vaccine, there's still going to be COVID cases. People are still going to get it, and people, unfortunately, are still going to die from it. So we have to reopen eventually. We have to adapt to this thing, okay? We can't stay hunkered down forever, okay? So that's my feeling on it, okay? So to answer the question, in short, is it too soon to open Disneyland? Not at all. Reopen Disneyland. Now, I know a lot of you, or some of you, might be saying, oh, well, Orange Grove isn't taking this very seriously. No, actually I am. Actually I am. I'll be honest with you. Every time I leave the house, I wear a mask. I want to show you something. I'm actually going to show you something. I wear masks. I'm an avid mask wearer. I have like 30 of these, okay? Every time I leave the house, I'm wearing a mask. I take it very, very seriously. I take daily walks around my neighborhood. Every time I wear a mask. Every single time. I social distance, I wash my hands. I take this very, very seriously. But at the same time, I don't agree with just hunkering down, locking down forever. I just don't. And that's what it would be. It would be locking down forever. Because there's always going to be a spike when you reopen. Always. There will always be a spike when you reopen. It's just the way it is. The more people that are interacting with each other and going outside, they're just going to be more cases. There's just going to be more cases. So that's my thought on it. I do not think it's too early to reopen Disneyland. I think Disneyland should reopen along with the broader overall economy. I think that should also reopen in full. And again, I don't mean, when I say reopen, I want to make it very clear. I'm not saying reopen and go back to business as usual. I'm saying reopen with masks, reopen with social distancing, reopen with lower capacity. So I want to make that very clear. I'm not saying we go back to normal, but we got to reopen. We got to reopen. So, hey, that's my thought. And again, I know this is going to be a very unpopular opinion. I know I'm probably going to get a lot of heat in the comment section in regards to this. But you know what? I've always promised you guys, and I've always been real honest with you. I've always given you my true feelings, and I'm not going to change my opinion to just kind of agree with the masses. You know, I'm going to give you how I really feel. And this is how I really feel, even if it's probably going to be very unpopular. But what are your thoughts in regards to Disneyland reopening, Disneyland canceling the July 17th reopen? Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with it? What are your thoughts on this? Thank you guys for all your support. Thank you, thank you, thank you. I really do